Today's show is brought to us and you by DraftKings Sportsbook, baby. Only the top-rated sportsbook and app in all of North America. Safe, secure, reliable. We love all of that, baby. And I think you should as well. And that's the reason why we come bearing gifts. Promo code. Shout out to the promo code. It is MOATS. Simple concept. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You make that first deposit bet, or you put that first initial deposit of $5 in, and you will receive up to $200 in bonus bets when you use that promo code. All right, it's a dope concept, man, and they got a ton of cool offers that are currently going on that you might get a chance to reuse some of those winnings potentially to make some more money. All right, but with that being the case, we also know that at times, man, you can get lost in the sauce. It can be a lot up on you, and you might develop a gambling problem. Well, if you're living in New York, it's a number that you can text. But for everybody else, the digits to dial are 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's talk strengths, weaknesses.
Okay.
Get that part first. Yeah.
Strengths for the Colts?
Mm-hmm.
Not many at this point. I like Jonathan Taylor.
Shout out to Jonathan Taylor, man.
He's having a pretty good year. I like the receivers. I mean, Alec Pierce is having a little bit of a breakout season. Found a nice connection with Richardson. Michael Pittman, obviously, he's a Pro Bowl type receiver, 1,000-yard type receiver. He's been good. Josh Downs just came back last week. So they got a nice little receiving core. A.D. Mitchell is their fourth guy, dude they picked in the second round.
That's
Texas, not
right?
bad. Now, I saw him drop a pass in one of these games. Obviously, he's not ready to supplant any of their top three receivers, but I think they got a good little receiving core, especially Pierce. He fits with Richardson and Richardson's play style as a deep threat.
You see the production on him this year too, man.
Yeah, he is. He's their number one receiver.
Yep.
No one really would have expected that. Man, that might be it for their strengths. You could say Richardson's talent and his ability to have an explosive play, throw one deep, throw one in a tight window, but with him, there's the pluses and the minuses, so maybe I'll talk about the weaknesses when we get to that point. And I guess their line's all right, but their line ain't the same as what it was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I don't think their defense is good at all.
Okay. Is that where you ending it, or you got more on the positive side?
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, I would say Anthony Richardson's talent or his ability to have an explosive play, running ability. Throw all that in there and into one, and then Jonathan Taylor, and then the receiving core.
I like it. When I look at him, man, some of the strengths I see, number one is their running the ball ability. Jonathan Taylor's a big part of that. We know at one point he led the league in rushing. We saw him last year. He was banged up. I think he was in with an ankle. This year he's healthy, looks good, vision is right, and the burst is definitely there. But when I say them running the ball, it's not just Jonathan Taylor. Anthony Richardson, in terms of how they utilize him at times to carry out some of the run fakes, it keeps the front side of the defense kind of weirded out because you still have to actually account for him pulling it, even though they don't do a ton of him actually pulling it and keeping the ball. Even at times where I personally think he should be a little bit more aggressive and actually make some of these defenders have to tackle him, he gives it a lot. But down by the red zone, they'll utilize him in that sense, almost like how we did with Justin Fields last week. And we even saw with that how, it can be a weapon. The run game for them, I think, is a big thing. And their O-line, I think, is actually better at run blocking right now than I do their pass blocking. I'm not a fan of their pass blocking, bro. But we're going to stay positive right now. The other thing I would say is Anthony Richardson, man. Big athlete. He can make all the throws. He can take off and run 70 yards downfield. Think Justin Fields in Chicago. That's what Anthony Richardson is. He's that type of athlete. But just a bigger frame because obviously he's Avatar when you look at it, in terms of his height and weight and ability to do backflips. I'm sure TG, can't forget that. Can't forget the backflips. But he's the big athlete, man. Like I said, crazy rocket arm. You'll see him have plays where he's off of his back foot and he launches the ball downfield and you're just like, yo, the ball's still in the air. And then it hits a guy right in the chest. And you're like, oh, all right. It's times where you'll see him take off and put pressure on the edge of the defense, man, and make you have to tackle this dude. And when he runs, he's not trying to slide. He's not trying to run out of bounds. He's going to drop it on you every once in a while. That's that young guy stuff. But I think that he's a big part of why, him and Jonathan Taylor are a big part of why their running game is as productive as it can be and or as productive as it is, and why I think it makes you just, like I said, have to worry about that a little bit more than you would necessarily like to. The next thing I would say is Shane Steichler, the offensive coordinator. I love their scheme. I think if they actually had a dude that was more consistent, and that's the hope for Anthony Richardson because he has the tools. The hopes is that he'll continue to develop like when we look at Justin Fields. You look at him in Arthur Smith's offense and you're like, yo, you making all the throws you're supposed to make. Man, this guy's running free. Man, we even scheming up nice runs. Man, we building stuff.
Well, even think of Steichen with the Eagles. Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, you look at the Colts, man.
At that MVP level.
Yeah, you look at the Colts, bro, it's the same thing. It's like, yo, this dude's running wide open. It's running lanes. The design is there. Now, Richardson, he's not consistent. He's a rookie. Or not a rookie. Well, I mean, man, play what, 5 games last year? It feels like a rookie, man.
Not even. I think it was like 3.5 or 3.
So it's like, man, when you watch him, he's doing rookie stuff. And that kind of hinders the production of the scheme. But the scheme is fire. I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, oh, yep, this is the Jalen Hurts. Oh, he would have hit that one. Yep, this is the Jalen Hurts. He made that, though. Oh, this is the deep over to A.J. Brown. Like, it looks Philadelphia-ish, just without the guy that's, consistently putting it there, which is a benefit for us. I like that way more that he's like this while he's young, man. The other thing I would say is this. I like some of their players. I think they got good players. No great players. But I think they got just enough good players around them. Zaire Franklin, good player. Kwity Paye, good player. Nick Cross, when we talked about him coming out of Maryland, good player. I think Jalen Jones, their corner, is a good player. Latu Letu, that was the first runner that they drafted this year out of UCLA, 15th overall. We liked him. Good player. But it's like, I don't feel like they got like ton of stars. You know what I mean? But
they have no playmakers.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I play, but the guy just
Franklin, he just gets a ton of tackles.
He's a tackle machine, but he's not like a impact. It's not like knock pack. It's not. It's just real. Just
none of these corners or safeties are getting picks like that. The only reason they did last week is because it was Caleb Williams. Yeah.
But it's
the first 2 weeks they weren't doing anything.
Right, but it's just like, yo, they're good players. It's not great. Like Latu Letu, I'm like, yo, you're good, but he's still young. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm seeing you still, you got a great, you learning this thing, man. But that's kind of what I feel like that, man. And I guess the last string, because I was like, I wanted to give them at least one more positive. I felt like I was a little light on their positives. They appear to work the cadence on special teams. So I do feel like they work with that. They did get a hard count on 4th and 2 versus the Bears and gave them a fresh set of downs. Yeah, bro. Like I said, I was running light, bro. All right. I was like, that's a positive. There we go. Because you brought up the wide receiver group. I don't love the wide receiver group, but I think they would be better if Richardson was more consistent. But since he's kind of over the place, it makes them kind of look just like, So I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm the commentator trying to get on Jonathan Taylor at one point. I'm like, bro, did you see the pass that my man threw off the backfield? I'm like, man, that ain't on JT. That give him catchable. But but he's talented as heck, man. So that was the strengths of it. So now let's talk about some of the DC 53. That's you got to chill. So that's a super stretch right there, man. They ain't like they worked the hard count, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, so he worked. It got you a fresh set of downs. All right. If you get a fresh set of downs off of it, we got to talk about it. All right. But now let's talk about some of them weaknesses, man. How you feeling?
Well, we mentioned Richardson in the positives, but I think he probably belongs more in the weaknesses because despite some of the flashes and the explosive plays, I don't think he plays the quarterback position that well. Leads the league in picks, 6. Mm-hmm. Probably could be more. Probably could be like 8 or 9 to this point. Mm-hmm. Has an under 50% completion rating. And outside of those explosive plays, some of these stat lines he'd be putting up would be absolutely dismal. They'd be Tim Tebow-esque probably. Mm-hmm. But, the 70-yard bomb to Pierce here, the 40-yard pass to Pierce here, the 60-yard one he had in week 1, that went for the touchdown where he threaded it was an incredible throw. Incredible throw. Threaded the needle and the dude ran it in for the touchdown. Like, if you take those away, I mean, you're looking at his stat line being like 7 for 20 for 63 yards.
Yep, not even
and
average.
a couple
It's
picks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you give credit where it's due. Those
Yeah.
plays were made, and it makes his stat line, his final box score, actually look competent.
Yeah.
But you watch like full games that he's putting out there, he's missing some really easy throws.
Mm-hmm. A lot of easy throws, man.
Like you said, missing some open receivers, and just doesn't seem like he has it all the way at the quarterback position, but is able to make up for it with some of that athleticism and the explosive plays and keep his team in it. But I think it's a good formula for the Steelers to be going up against him this week. Yeah. And then, man, I mean, I think you're right with the pass protection on the offensive line, and I mentioned it a little bit in the strengths where I finished it off and said, I don't really like anything on their defense. And so, I'll put their defense as a whole as a weakness. We'll just say that because they're second to last in run defense. They're also second to last in total yards given up as a defense as a whole if you combine passing and rushing. So no matter how you want to attack them, you should be able to do it. But particularly for us with Najee Harris and how much we do love to run the ball, and it hasn't even been perfect for us just yet, but we stay consistent with it. The fact that we give Najee the carries that we give him, and he's giving us like 70, the Justin Fields element, the second running back element of either Cordell Patterson or Jaylen Warren, like we're still, I think it's top 12 in the league right now. It hasn't been perfect for us, but going up against a defense like the Colts, we hopefully should have a field day.
I would agree.
Yeah, defense. I mean,
agree.
if we need to pass it, if we get to a point in this game, I don't think Fields should have any problems getting it to Pickens or any of these other receivers. If Scotty Miller and Calvin Austin can keep up what they were doing from last week, shouldn't have a problem. But I think we're going to go in with the mindset we've had in all these games is let's run the ball first, take care of it, and then if we see opportunities to take some shots downfield, let's do it. But don't put the ball in harm's way because Anthony Richardson is going to be putting the ball in harm's way and going to give us opportunities for takeaways and turnovers, which will put our offense in a good spot naturally. So it's not like we got to do anything crazy on offense here.
Yeah. I agree, bro. Anthony Richardson, he's actually at the top of my list for weaknesses. Young and inconsistent is pretty much the best way to describe him. He has all of the talent in the world, but his decision-making is atrocious. His processing of defenses pre-snap to post-snap, at least in his last 2 games, was atrocious. And just routine throws. Sometimes it's footwork related. Sometimes it's taking something off of the cannon. Sometimes it's learning to touch throw. I mean, like I say, he's just young. And when you're young, this is what you deal with. We saw it with Kenny when he was a rookie. You know, it's like, yo, you're going to go through growing pains. Talk about Bo Nix the past 2 weeks, right? One performance, next performance, like, okay, you're a little better this week, man. Young guy stuff, man. A lot of that takes place, and it's not like teams have to get crazy exotic with their coverage. Chicago was literally just running cover 3. Like, it's like first day install, just cover 3. Show 2 high, we're going to change it to 3. And, he putting that ball in place where you like, bro, why are you even looking there right now, man? But this was also on his tape if you talk about coming out of Florida. So we'll see. Obviously, you say he's still young, but that's a big part of why it's not better yet. Because once he gets up to speed, or if he ever gets up to speed, they got talent, especially on offense with Jonathan Taylor, O-line being good, but he has to play better in order for them as a team to be better because they don't have enough star talent around him to kind of carry it and keep him afloat. He still has to be the guy. And
if he could get better with that stuff, the formula is there. If they could be patient, and if he actually does develop, he could be he could be one of the best in the league. I think he would be a more electric Cam Newton. I think he's got a better
that's
arm.
What reminds me of, but a wave. Yeah, I'm with you.
I think he's got a better natural arm talent than Cam Newton.
Yeah,
like Cam had a cannon, but I think Richardson's even got a better arm than Cam. And then I think he could even be more electric on the ground too, faster and all that.
I would agree, man.
Which is crazy.
Because Cam was one of them ones, bro. Playing against Cam, you like, oh.
So if you could be patient and have him develop, like that could be the end result. Does he ever get there? I mean, ultimately, a lot of that's up to him.
And how long does it take?
Right.
Cam, from the time he stepped on the field as a
Rookie of the year.
it was
Amazing
like,
rookie
yo,
year. Yeah.
this dude for real. It wasn't until he started getting banged up after the Super Bowl stuff where it was like, all right, now he started to come back down to earth.
The best comp for the Colts to look at would probably be Josh Allen.
What?
And how he developed.
No, don't you do that. Nope.
Dude, come on.
Nope.
It
Cut
took
out,
him like
bro.
a year and a half.
Nope. Don't you
Come
do
on,
that.
dude.
Nope. He ain't developed. He
Come
ain't even
on.
good. Nope. Deke brought him up this time. I
think
him
that's
up.
the blueprint to
Nope.
look at.
Nope.
Just be like, okay, look, they were
Look
patient
at
with
Herbert.
Josh Allen.
Look at Justin Herbert, man. Go check him out, man.
They let him struggle for about a year and a half.
Nope. Go check out Herbert. Watch
No,
Herbert.
Herbert came in
Watch Herbert, man.
right out the gate.
Nope.
I think, didn't he throw for like 303 touchdowns first game?
Oh, man. He might have.
He was unreal, yeah.
I'm sure it's another big athletic quarterback that has developed over time. All right, we don't need to bring up no more Bills. Nope. Look at Caleb. Yeah, be like or C.J. Stroud.
No, Stroud was pretty good early on. He's bad in preseason.
Low key, that's the funny part. He was bad in preseason, and that's when it's like the easiest time out.
I'm trying to think of another comp. Another guy that they could point to and say, like, this could be the ceiling.
Be like Lamar. Yeah.
That was different because, like, I think they restricted Lamar in his rookie season. Yeah, they just wanted to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lamar, second year Lamar was playing really good.
Yep,
immediately
got MVP after that.
I don't know the comp.
Yeah, it's gotta be somebody else.
Sorry, it's just Josh Allen.
It's gotta be somebody else, bro. I'm gonna figure out somebody else. It's gotta be somebody else that big athlete developed over time. Yeah, find somebody else. Don't bring him up. Leave him alone. Next thing I would say though, man, is Deke brought it up earlier, but the playmakers on defense. I think that they have a really good defense. I think it's well coached, but I don't feel like, or excuse me on that one. They got a good concept. They are not the best though in terms of playmakers. Yeah, they can't stop the run. That's the big part. It's bad at times. It's real bad at times, and I think sometimes if you have a playmaker out there that can help you overcome some of that type of stuff. But I think when you just have a lot of really good players or just good to really good, I think that you're constantly going to be in that fight where you have to be perfect. And to be perfect at this level and do it each and every time is very, very tough for all 11 dudes each and every week, man, on defense. So that's the thing for me, man. They cannot stop that run. Go look at Green Bay. Go look at the Green Bay game. Josh Jacobs. So I think it's Malik Willis at quarterback, man. Everybody knows what they're trying to do, and that man had about $120 something on him at the half, man. Like,
well, they did last week against the Bears, but that's just because the Bears suck.
Okay, you can't throw it either. Caleb was, Caleb had some moments, but Caleb was doing some rookie stuff too. Now, boy, he was doing some rookie stuff. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think they only let up 60 on the ground to the Bears, but that's because the Bears can't run for over 100 yards. They didn't do it in the first 2 weeks either.
I felt like they could have if they would have stopped letting homie throw it. Like, bro.
I think he had, 50 attempts?
Shit, homie was tripping. I'm like, bro, y'all keep just throwing it. I'm like, all right, pick up, all right. Stop. But it'd be like that, man. The last two things, though, I think their pass rush. Leatu is the one. That's the only one to be really concerned about. Kwity Paye, I think, does a good job. But
Forrest Buckner's on IR.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kwity Paye, I think the most he's had in a year was 8.5 sacks. So even with that, it's like, yo, you got to respect them. You got to know them. But I just think that they're very light in that department. And then their offensive line versus the pass rush. I thought Chicago got after them up front, especially pass rush wise. Montez Sweat. I'm like, bro, yeah, but he ain't TJ. No. If he doing it like that, I can't wait to see what this one do. So, yeah, and yeah, it's across the board, man. Chicago was giving us some problems up front. I think that we should dominate the trenches on both sides of the ball. We already know, even from a Quentin Nelson standpoint, Cam then showed everybody he ain't the boogeyman. Since whenever that game was,
that's his kryptonite.
That was the kryptonite. Like, when that game happened, everybody's talking about how great Quentin Nelson was. I included because Quentin Nelson is dominant. He's a dope player. Cam don't care. This is like Cam's wheelhouse. He do
and
this.
I think Cam has aged better than Quentin Nelson,
I
too,
also would agree as well, man.
from that time.
I would agree. Cam been a fine wine, a nice little blended red or something, Whereas, with the Quentin, it's kind of like milkish. Yeah. But that's like I said, how I had it, man. Strengths, weaknesses. So with that being the case, I guess I'll drop a couple matchups to look out for, and then we'll do these picks, man.
That's fine.
All right. So a couple matchups, man. Zaire Franklin, talked about him earlier, man. It's a tackling machine. He gets a ton of tackles. He's sideline to sideline guy. Him versus Najee Harris. Najee is the physical battering ram, man. Just keep running through this dude, man. He's their best player in terms of the sideline. He's the guy that's going to make the most of the plays or be in position to make the most plays. But his game is not the physicality that Najee plays with. So that's the one you got to have right there, baby. Next up, talked about Anthony Richardson. We know with A-Rich, man, he going to put the ball in a lot of bad places. He can put the ball in some good places. We can put the ball in some bad places. So, Minka, this your matchup right here, man. I already know he going to fool him with how they line up here, show two, go to one, make it Tampa, all this other stuff they be doing before the snap.
Maybe based off what you were saying, we might not even have to do all that.
I don't think we will. Chicago did it one time, and I want to say he threw a pick, bro. It was the Jalen Jones, on the sideline. It was like they were here, they swapped it to here, and they just played cover 3, and he's staring the whole time. Boom, hit him in the face. But I'm like, bro, stop it. But
like you said, maybe they should be running Anthony Richardson more.
I feel like if you want him to be more effective, have him doing that a little bit more. He's still young right now, so it's like, unless they feel because of, I don't know how he got hurt last year with the shoulder, but maybe that might be it. But
he was running a lot last year.
Yeah, but I'm like watching him run this. I'm like he's not trying to slide. He trying to drop it on you. So yeah, but he putting the ball in some bad places. So Minka, just catch that one, man. You know it's your time. You heard the stat, man. Since Edmonds been out there, you ain't had a splashy splash. So go ahead, get you one real quick. This would be a great opportunity, man.
Maybe we just need to dress Edmonds.
That could work also. That could definitely work. We'll stay tuned. All right. Then after that, Jonathan Taylor versus our trio of linebackers. PQ, E-Rob, Peyton Wilson, right? We know Jonathan Taylor is their best and most consistent player. Period. That's the guy. He got nice feet, nice hands. He got vision, and he can go to the crib. All right. With that, though, we play physical football. All three of these dudes that we talked about, Patrick Queen, Landon Robinson, and Peyton Wilson, I thought played a really dope game last week. I loved how they flew around, made plays. And even, like I said, man, when they were trying to hit us with the JK, them boys weren't ducking none of that. They turned that back on numerous occasions. So let's go ahead and do it again on the road this time. Then after that, man, that Colts secondary, they cool. Justin Fields is not Caleb Williams, though. Respectfully, he's not. So make it look like that. And actually, it'd be pretty cool, man, since Caleb did kind of go out there and not look the best.
You're saying the Bears made a mistake.
I'm just saying, if you're Justin Fields, not only do you got a chance to kind of take the chokehold of QB1, you also got a chance to send a message to everybody that was in Chicago that thought that it was sweet and thought that they could just move on from you, man. And as players, you do think about that type of stuff. Even though we say we don't. Most of us say we don't. We all do. So that's part of it, man. So go ahead and take advantage of it. This is a great opportunity, and I think he should look better this week. My only issue is I think we're going to love running the football so much that we're not going to have to throw it as much with him.
And that's I'm
that's
completely
the case.
fine with that.
Yeah.
For people that have Fields as their fantasy quarterback,
It's going to suck.
They might not be so happy.
Yeah, but that's kind of how I view it. I'm like, I love this for Fields, but I think this is a Najee game, man.
Yeah, we just need the same thing from Atlanta and Chicago, or not Chicago, Denver out of Fields.
Absolutely. And then the last matchup, man, Kwity Paye versus Broderick. We know with Broderick, man, until we get enough great games or good games from him in a row where we don't have to feel back and forth about him, I'm just going to throw him up there. So Kwity Paye actually is a good player, man. Like I said, not great. Nothing that you are losing sleep over, but you got to respect him. And you better, be ready to work because he's going to have effort. He's going to be a power rusher. Has a good get off. Not a ton of moves in his repertoire, but he's a good player. So that's the one for me with Broderick. It's like, he's going to want you every single rep. Go ahead and make it do what it do, man. But I like that. So with that being the case, man, let's get this pick. And then after that, we'll get our weekly, NFL games.
Sure.
Y'all hit that like button if y'all dig how we doing it today, too, man. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel.
Let me just say this before we get to the picks. In what area, when you look at it team for team, are we outmatched? I don't see one. I feel as if this is set up perfectly for us because what we do well, they do bad. So what I have written here is we like to run the ball, and they can't stop the run. We like to take care of the ball, and they don't have any playmakers on defense.
Yeah.
We like to take it away on defense, and Richardson loves to throw picks.
Turn him around. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the one right here, but I think we're still fine. Jonathan Taylor, good running back, right?
Yeah.
But I think our run defense is better at this point, a la what we did to the Chargers and J.K. Dobbins last week.
Yep.
So, like, I just think it's a great matchup for us, like, with all due respect.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the only, outside of what you just said, the running back part, I said, if somebody wanted to make a case their wide receiver group as a whole better than or a little bit further along than where we are as a whole, since they do have Pittman, Pierce, Downs, and A.D. Mitchell. Somebody think that's, you know what I mean?
I think we got the best receiver.
We do have the best receiver.
And Pickens, yeah.
But you can make a case also that Pittman has had a little bit more success, though. That's
but like you said, they don't really have a guy to get him the ball. Yeah.
It's like, bro, you look at his numbers right now. It's like, yo, you barely see him on the field, like, getting targets. But it's like, it's not him. It's just quarterback, man. That's when you got young quarterbacks. It's the reason why Deontay felt how he felt, man. And he even hinted to it when he's like going from 7 to KP. He's like, yo, you got to kind of remember, like, all right, it's different. You got a young quarterback, man. It's different, man. Yeah.
With all that being said, I got us 24. And I think I'm even being nice by giving them the amount of points I'm about to give them. So Steelers 24. I'll say 10. Man. I think I'm being nice with that, too.
You got them scoring 10 on us? How they doing it?
Maybe it's a last-ditch so go garbage time touchdown or something.
Oh, I'm like, bro, they going to score 10?
Yeah.
Is TJ playing? Is Herbig playing? Is Cam playing? Patrick Queen playing?
Yeah, I don't know why I got it 24-10.
Is Peasy playing?
Hey.
Dante playing? Minka playing?
We win this handedly, though.
Okay.
They might get a backdoor garbage time touchdown or something fluky.
Respect.
That's the only way I could see it happening.
Respect. I like it. To me, man, I got us winning also. I have it 20-13. I feel this same way. I'm like, yo, I think Rich do something fluky early on, or he'll have one of them fluky plays where, all right, you get a score in there. Or it's a Jonathan Taylor situation.
Maybe even it's like a pass interference.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like
interference call on us. Yeah,
something weird to get them in a position they get the score, and then from there, one or two I'll say one or two just field goals throughout. Whether that is late in the game where we know, even if the game is quote unquote in control, they're still playing with enough pace, enough where you have to respect it. And okay, they're in position, they take the field goal. But in the end, I do have us, like I said, taking care of business, man, getting it done 20-13. So I do like that. And you got the guys taking care of business as well.
24-10.
I like it. So let me see a couple of these quick ones real quick. And then after that, man, we
All
will
we gotta
pull
do
up the docket.
On offense, run the ball, take care of the ball. And then defense, stop Jonathan Taylor, stop the run. And, like, keep a lid on it.
Got to keep the lid on it. Yep.
Don't give up the stupid or explosive play. But, like you said, would we be surprised if something like that happened?
Right.
I wouldn't, just because there are refs and they make shitty calls sometimes.
It happen like that.
Yeah, there
man.
could be like a pass interference call that flips the field, or Rich breaks a tackle or two and throws one up with his eyes closed, and our defender loses the ball in the lights or something like that. That could happen.
Something weird.
Because it's happened literally every game the Colts have played this year. So, hey.
Yeah, that's real life, bro. That's real life. All right, the chat showing love.
Try not to let it happen, though, as best you can.
Please. The Don Hefe Kwan says 27-9. Steelers. Brandon Griffin 30-10. Steelers. Stan Claire has us getting a +3 on the turnover rate, which would be refreshing since we actually lost the turnover battle this past game. We also have Emory Underwood. 27-13. Steelers lifted ones 34-28 Ravens. Wait a minute. I like it.
Yeah, they just wanted to give a prediction for that Ravens-Bills game.
Man. Hey. I know you're a Ravens fan. I ain't tripping on it.
I don't know if we want the Ravens to win this,
I know you big Ravens fan, man. That's the two-time MVP.
I mean, I would love to see the Bills lose.
The two-time MVP is supposed to be the favorite. It should be a double-digit spread when we get to that game. I know it's going to be a double-digit spread, bro. Rashawn Jones, and I know you're not taking the Bills because you don't even like the Bills. I'm going to let you know I'm picking them on the front end, all right? You like Baltimore.
I do not want to pick
Yeah,
the
you
Ravens.
do. You
though.
like Baltimore, bro. Don't play. You know you like that, bro.
We'll see if they get points.
All right. Pixel Bros, 21-17 Steelers. X Concept says 52-14 Bills. Wait a minute. I don't know how this happened, bro. Just cut it out. Cut it out. We're not doing this. Cut it out. Stop it.
Any
all right?
Josh Allen for
Stop
MVP predictions in there?
No. Cut it all out. All right. Let's get back to Rod Dollar. Thank you, Rod Dollar. 34-27 Steelers. All right. Cut all that out. We ain't got time for none of this, man. Huh. All right.
I don't know if you read this one, but someone's got us winning 17-0.
Oh, who got? All right. All right. Shout out to the 17-0. I like that. Mano has.
I read it a minute ago and forgot. Doobie Mills says
right.
17-0. Defense continues on its historic run.
I like it. And the last one I get is Mano. It has it 23-13 for the black and gold. So yeah, it feels like everybody's feeling good about this. And it worked out last time like that as well. And it did not turn into a Tomlin or a curse, right? Where everybody.
This is a prototypical Tomlin loss heading in right now.
But he's
I think
also-
we're immune though. I think this team's immune to Tomlin losses though.
He's giving us Tomlin wins, man.
I feel like
how did we get these Tomlin wins, bro?
I feel like there's something to the squad that we got, the veteran leadership, the coaching staff. I think we're immune to Tomlin losses. I think if we lose, it's going to be that was a good game, and you know things just didn't play out. I don't think we're going to have any Tomlin losses.
We're not
this
tripping
year.
on
Bold prediction.
We are having Tomlin wins. Nobody's tripping on the Tomlin wins, are we? Is everybody enjoying these Tomlin wins that we're getting?
These are all Tomlin wins.
All right, that's all I'm saying. If we're gonna be loud about
what's
the
not a
Tomlin
Tomlin win? Us winning like 40-10.
right? We'd have to have like a real like blowout, like oh man, this is we winning challenges in this game. You know what I mean? Like yeah, well, or he's actually throwing the challenge flag in this game. Like that ain't a Tomlin win. That's a we did it all together. But these been Tomlin wins, man. We know this. This is peak Tomlin performance. I'm just waiting on him to have another one of them so he can beat his chest again.